Hey guys, it is a new season. That's right, Code A starts again today. I am Doa. With me is Moletrap. And we've got an awesome first session for Code A today, don't we?
We certainly do, man.
Yeah.
It is actually, I mean, things are getting so stacked. Code B is so competitive, and Code S is so competitive. The up and down matches are so competitive that Code A is really getting stacked. So we have a lot of really, really good players that have been around before, and we have actually a lot of really good players that have come up that are new as well.
Yeah, thanks to our sponsors here too, Sony Ericsson, Blizzard, G-Skill, and all you fine folks at home as well, of course. But getting back to the matches, like you mentioned, we've got not only a lot of those great Code B players that have finally made it into Code A, but we've also got a lot of these Code S players that have kind of fallen down into Code A. We've got OGS MC down here today. That's kind of weird, but after he's been playing for the last couple of months, maybe it's not so weird. We'll see how he plays. I'm really interested to see how that one turns out. Our first match of the day is going to be TSL Revival versus MVP SC.
MVP SC, yeah.
Yep.
Changing teams recently, and here's the schedule for October, by the way. In case you guys missed it on any of the AOL casts, make sure to tune on the weekends for those, though, by the way. Those have been great games.
AOL's been awesome so far.
So, as you can see today, we've got 2 Code A casts, 2-day Code A broadcasts. We're going to do 4 matches of the round of 32 here in the afternoon, and then 4 more matches in the evening, and then, of course, all week, we have quote-unquote morning casts at 1:10 p.m. Korean Standard Time as well, getting all the way through the round 16 this week.
Yeah, you get your double dose of GSL this week. I don't know, it's more casting for us, but that's like even better. I actually love this week. This is like the week I look forward to every season because you get to see so many great games. I don't know, everything about Code A is just dramatic for me. I mean, you've got rounds like today, the round of 32, where you've got players fighting to stay alive in the GSL. I mean, if MC loses today, he has to re-qualify through Code B. I mean, that's insane.
And though you fight to stay alive, your body starts to shiver when you're playing in the Code A, man, because you could get eliminated very easily.
That's true.
And, of course, as you can see there, Code S starts tomorrow as well. Don't miss that. So here's our first matches for today. MVP SC versus TSL Revival, and Slayer's Alicia versus Dignitas Select. Yes, we have a foreigner, one of the foreigner seeds is going to be in every broadcast of the round of 32, and hopefully some of the round of 16 as well, at least. And of course, after those 2 matches, MC versus Monster and Curix versus Gumiho. The yellow players, by the way, are players who've changed this. We've had to change the schedule a little bit since the last time it was posted.
I see. So we've rewarded them for that by making their names a brilliant golden color.
Yes.
So make sure to kind of adjust your schedules accordingly. That'll be a good match too. Liquid Hero versus Violet. Hero is. I'm really interested to watch that one later because Hero's been so good lately in PvZ. He's got awesome War Prism drop play. That'll be fun to watch. But today, our session right now. All these matches are exciting to me. I mean, SC versus Revival, Select versus Alicia, that should be a pretty close match. I would even give the edge to Select a little bit in that one.
To be honest, I would as well. And just so you know, JYP versus Juktu, that was supposed to be today, but that's the one that was switched with the other match, so that's what happened there.
Yep. That's right. And that's more of tomorrow's matches, of course. We've got Fruit Dealer versus Sase, Beyond versus Oz, Tassadar versus Superstar, oh no, Trickster versus MVP Dream, Lucky versus Naniwa, that should be good, Check Prime versus Weekend, and Yoda versus Sage. Everyone's excited that Sage is finally in the GSL.
Yeah, a lot of people looking forward to seeing what he can bring to the table.
Yep, I've heard a lot of good things about him. I haven't actually seen him play too much myself, so I'm curious to see what exactly he's gonna bring to the GSL.
Yeah. Jinro tweeted the other day that Sage was one of the best Protosses he's ever seen, or something along those lines.
A lot of people have been saying that.
But yeah, and I haven't heard it just from Jinro. I've heard it from a lot of people. So I'm really curious to see, what he can show us. It'll be very interesting.
No kidding. Did you see that music video right before we came on?
Yeah, we finally got to watch the end of that one with the car crash.
We saw that one turned out. But what
was with that video?
I don't know. It looked like it was actually filmed on the set of Terminator Salvation.
True. Actually, it's true. Like both the settings were out of that movie. Like the desert with random stuff and the
robots. I don't know, that video would have been a lot better with killer robots with big machine guns and things like that. Maybe it's just me, just my opinion. IMO. Mole Trap.
You know what was a tragedy?
What's that?
When the Sarah Connor Chronicles was canceled.
I never watched a single episode of that, honestly. I'm sorry.
Well, it's probably for the best because even though it was a very enjoyable series, it got canceled on a cliffhanger.
Oh, really?
Like they did an end of season cliffhanger to get you into the next season, and then they ended the show.
I hate it when they do that.
It was excruciating.
There was this cartoon when I was a kid called Pirates of Dark Water. Some of you might know about that. I don't know. It was kind of an obscure cartoon, but it was so good, and they canceled it before the story was done. I don't know how people can do that, but you guys are going to see the whole story today, though.
That's right, man.
Yeah, we're not going to keep anything back. Check it out. It is MVPSC. Your eyes are not deceiving you. He is on MVP now.
You won't need the show to be a fan favorite and a cult classic, and then they make a movie out of it later on.
That's true.
For the GSL, no, we will not be stopping in the middle of this one.
GSL's already a cult classic, man.
There is MVPSC. In his new uniform, for the first time I've seen him in it.
Yep.
Recently switched off of FX Open.
Now, was he the player that was in the hospital for a little while recently? I think I heard that he was. Yeah.
I think he was. I think you're right. I don't want to say for certain because I've forgotten.
Yeah, I'm 99% sure. But if that is the case, then you can bet that he probably hasn't gotten as much practice as he normally would, and he's going to need it against this guy, TSL Revival, one of the most exciting Zerg versus Terran players that I've seen in a long time. I mean, this guy has crazy roach drop builds that I just love watching. I hope we're going to get to see some today.
Yeah, he kind of premiered those in his first Code A season a few seasons ago when we were casting. Haven't really seen it out of him lately, though.
Not as much. He is a solid Zerg player overall, but I was excited by him because he was one of the few Zergs that was willing to kind of innovate in that matchup. So I'm really curious to see what he's going to do today, whether it be standard play or not so standard play.
Yes, I double-checked. It was SC that came down with pneumothorax.
Yeah.
And had to get surgery. It's some kind of a lung condition, apparently. So I'm glad that he's apparently doing well enough. He's back in the booth.
Yep.
Hopefully, that was the only reason, why he has not been playing as well recently, and hopefully we'll see him play a lot better today because, he has fallen. He was a semifinalist in Code S, and here he is down in Code A in danger of being eliminated. So I gotta say, in that sense, I'm rooting for him. But again, Revival, very, very cool player as well. So I'm rooting for him as well. I don't know who I want to win, Doa, but we're gonna find out here in just a minute. Game 1 is about to start here at the GSL Code A.
I think I just saw a dashing Choya run across the stage. Up at the top of the map is Choya's former teammate, a player from the team MVP. He only has 2 letters in his name. He is MVPSC.
A wild Choya appears.
That's right. I'm pretty sure that was. I could be
No, that
wrong.
was Choya, yeah.
Oh, it was. Okay. There you go. There's SC, and down at the bottom of the map, we have our blue Zerg from the team TSL. Used to do a lot of roach drops. Will we see one today? I don't know. They're cross positions, but he is.
GSL Revival.
So,
I wonder if the SC stands for Starcraft.
I don't know. That's a good question. Actually, I wonder. I don't know. You can see his name is.
I don't know.
When they mouse over it, you'll see his name is SCSC because you need at least 4 characters in your blue name. Thanks again to Sony Ericsson and G-Skill for sponsoring the GSL.
Is it 4 or is it 3?
It's 4. No, it's 3. 3 is the minimum.
I thought it was 3.
But SCS just wouldn't make sense.
No, that would make sense.
Has to go SC. But see, the C is capitalized, so I don't know, man.
Starcraft. It's for emphasis.
That's what it might be.
Anyway, we do have SC going into probably looks like some kind of a tech lab build. He's gotten his gas after his barracks.
Yeah. Now, the interesting thing is, one of the many multitude interesting things about this game, I was talking to Coach Lee before the match, TSL coach, and he was saying that Revival was really worried about SC going double 11 racks, so he practiced a lot against that. And here in the first game, we actually don't see that from SC. So did Revival maybe focus on the wrong thing? We'll have to see.
Ooh,
good to practice against it either way.
Drone barely gets denied from getting a scout in there, so he's not going to find out if there's any gas.
Yep.
Since he can actually, I believe, see that top gas, or the nearby gas from the top of the ramp, but can't see the far one.
Yeah.
But yeah, Revival, he went for a hatch first, but it was like a 15 hatch, 14 pool. So he got the hatch first, but he still got his pool out relatively early, so he could stay safe. So I think you're right, that is something he was concerned about. And it's actually going to be a factory, not an add-on.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised at all to see him do something like a reactored Hellion expand. I mean, that is, again, quote-unquote, the safest opening in ZVT. It's very standard. Lets you expand, lets you get a little bit of map control with the Hellions. Nothing at all wrong with that. Yep, and there's the reactor, so I've got a feeling that's exactly what we're going to see. And Revival, I mean, who knows? Right now, he's just kind of droning up, looking around the map, making sure that he doesn't need to produce some offensive units to stay safe. He could do a lot of different things. He does like his roaches, though.
He does like his roaches.
I like his roaches, too, Moltrap.
Me too, man. I hope he does go for some roach play here.
Look at that APM.
Or something interesting at the very least. Again, you know, this is the first day of the round of 32, so you've got more time to practice for this match than you do for any of the other matches in Code A, basically. So hopefully he's prepared something interesting. The SCV does get all the way into Revival's base. Doesn't really see too much, but seeing not very much is also seeing something in a way.
Well, I mean, it could tell him a couple different things. We see Revival now getting that Zergling speed pretty quick, and the first Hellions on the way for SC, but yeah, SC didn't really see enough of the base to make much of an assumption, because there could easily be, you know, a Roach Warren at the left side of the creep there that he missed, but then again, I mean, it could be that SC just wants to drone up a lot and take a faster third going to Mutal Link too. I mean, SC just doesn't know. He needs those Hellions to find out.
Yep, and he is sending those Hellions across the map now, trying to find out what's going on. There's a Spine Crawler that's about to pop a little bit before these Hellions get here, just barely, actually.
Yeah, well, Revival knows his timings.
Perfect timing on that Spine Crawler.
Yep.
And the Queen as well is going to stop these Hellions from doing too much. Oh, but he unburrows. No, back at the front of Revival's base. He unburrows to move his Spine Crawler and lets the Hellions in. They're going to kill some Zerglings. They probably aren't going to do too much damage with these Queens giving chase, but they may get a couple drones.
Yeah, I think they will, and they'll also get a lot of scouting information. That must have been a misclick to unburrow that Spine Crawler. I don't know what he was thinking. A couple more Zerglings might be roasted. He's going to eventually be able to clean up these Hellions, I think, now that speed is kicked in. Kicking in the NOS.
That's right. You'd think it would be the Hellions that had NOS, but no, it's actually the Speedlings.
That's right.
And Speedlings actually get a little bit of a surround, and one is going to get into this base and see exactly what SC is up to.
Yeah, he's going to see that third command center. He's even going to kill the SCV that's building it.
Nice.
Look at that. Marine gets some revenge.
Moving that Spine Crawler again. I think he was just... I think he had his timing perfect, but he didn't realize how perfect his timing was.
I know.
He wanted to move it a little bit closer to that ramp.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, he maybe just unburrowed it right before the Hellions came into view. That's probably what happened, but... Oh well. Not a big deal. Lair going down now for Revival. A couple more Hellions out here. And that's kind of a scary amount of Hellions. I mean, he can try to run past the Spine Crawler again, but really the big benefit of those Hellions at this point in the game is to kind of reduce the creep spread, or at least keep it at bay, and kind of hinder your opponent from taking a third on a map like this, where you can pretty easily kind of zone out your opponent from going after that third.
Yeah, definitely. Siege mode has started as well as Stim, so it looks like SC is just going to go into Tank Marine. Pretty standard kind of stuff. He's got a couple extra barracks down as well, so pretty normal. He's just going to go for, and we'll probably see SC move out and then take his third after a little bit. We see players a lot of times get that third command center anyway, just and actually is he even... Okay, now he's finally continued building that command center. I think he forgot to put a new SCV on it, but
yeah, might have.
Anyway, point being, you can have just those extra mules, and it's just handy to have that command center around anyway. And then once you gain any kind of control, then you can take your third.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we just saw the Spire on the way for Revival. The Baneling Nest is on the way as well. Baneling speed. Hellion still kind of preventing creep spread. And not really allowing Revival to send a drone over to that third either. He's just going to get that macro hatch first. That's kind of been one of the big questions that a lot of Zerg players have been discussing lately is, you know, is in most cases, is it better to go after the macro hatch before the third or the third before the macro hatch? It kind of depends on the situation, of course, but yeah, I've had a lot of interesting conversations with Zerg players about, you know, their thoughts on that.
Yeah, definitely situation dependent. Depends on what kind of units you're making as well. If you're going heavy on the Zerglings, you often need that macro hatch just to have enough larvae to even put out as many units as you want to.
Goodbye, Hellions. Nice knowing you. They're in a heap of trouble now, Moltrap.
They're in a heap now, is what they are.
Trouble.
And he's running back to the Marines. And the Zerglings turn around at the last moment. So SC is deciding to take that third pretty quickly as he makes this push across the map.
Yeah, 8 mutas on the way as well. So between the Lynx and mutas, I feel like Revival's going to be able to handle this push okay. It's a relatively small push because he did get that third fairly quickly. But we'll have to see. Maybe he's going to be able to deny the third of Revival. Could be.
Yeah, he's definitely going to have to cancel it at this point. Well, actually, the mutas and a lot of Lings are out. He might try and save it. No, it does go down.
Yeah, hopefully he canceled that. And here comes the attack. Mutas over the Marines. Oh, what is Revival doing? That's not generally a good decision.
No. And some really good micro by SC. Takes out a few extra mutas.
Some Creep Doomers dying as well. Now, I felt like Revival was in an okay spot. He's coming in from both sides, preventing the Marines from moving. Some of them do slip through, but should be okay. Hi, mutas. Welcome back.
That was a beautiful flank right there.
Yeah, absolutely. And now, I mean, we're just going to see Revival try to maybe put on a little bit of pressure with those mutas. Maybe with the Banelings as well. Might try to run those up into the natural, but I don't think he's going to be able to.
Here's the good thing about getting that macro hatch in your main and not just taking a quick third with it, is now, even though he had to cancel that third, he's still able to keep up his production.
Yeah.
He's not just stuck on 2 hatcheries right now, trying to get a third up desperately. He can still keep up and spend all of his money even though he doesn't have that third up yet.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and I love it when players do this. Break down those rocks at the third on this map. It's something that players have finally started doing. It just opens up the third so much, makes it very, very difficult to hold. Glad to see Revival doing something like that. But, you know, I mean, if you look at the supplies, SC is keeping right up with Revival. And when a Terran is even with Zerg on supply, that's generally a fairly tough situation for the Zerg to attack in. Ooh, Burrow on the way. Are we going to see some burrowed Banelings?
I hope so.
I hope so too.
Very likely. It's a very strong strategy, especially if they don't see it coming. I guess it's only strong if they don't see it coming.
That's true. If they see it coming, then basically the Banelings just die. But yeah.
And you know that it can backfire too in that sense. If they kill a bunch of Banelings that you don't have in that battle, then
that's true. That's very true.
In any case, so we do have the third up for Revival. He's getting that going, but again, SC actually ahead in his third. Had his third up even earlier, but so Revival trying to take his fourth at the south to equalize things.
More barracks on the way for SC, going very typically SC, getting very, very Marine heavy. He loves playing like that, and a sensor tower as well. I really feel like sensor towers are the most underused unit in the Terran arsenal, because, or not really unit building. Oh, there's a scan to take on the Banelings. Just because a lot of people use it in TVT, in TVP, and TVZ. People are like, well, they can move around so fast that by the time you see it, it may not matter, but I really feel like there's a future for it. I don't know. I like sensor towers.
Yeah, and hold that thought, because while SC is trying to move out, there's a little bit of a counterattack. Lings in the front and mutas into the main. These Lings getting a little bit confused, but they're going to occupy the Marines long enough that the Mutalisks can do some pretty good damage in the main base.
Oh, he does burrow those to try to make him use the scan. Some mutas out. Are they going to get the medevacs? Nope, the Marines will chase them away in time. Oh, a lot of pressure being put on SC at his main base right now. And I think we're going to see Revival take a third pretty soon here. Or not a third. A fifth pretty soon here.
Yeah, he might just do that. He's got to get a lot of units out right now, though, because SC... there's those Zerglings popped up again. Nice little positioning, though.
Alright, well, they get a couple SCVs before getting taken down.
Get a couple SCVs.
That's right.
Anyway, Revival has to get a lot of units out right now. He's got to defend against this push. It's a very strong push. A lot of tanks, a lot of Marines coming out here.
Oh, here we go. Not sieged up, though. And the Banelings getting in the Marines. Nice Marine splitting by SC, but just a lot to deal with right there. And I think...
it's a little too much.
Yeah, yep, he just has barely enough Marines to hold off those mutas. Close call, though, for SC. He's going to have to pull back a little bit after that, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, Revival making right now more Mutalisks. He's making almost 50 Zerglings at this point. So I think Revival is done droning. He's making as many units as he possibly can right now. He is getting that 5th base up at the top right, and he's just going to try and harass while he gets that base going with these Mutalisks.
Yep.
And try to delay SC for as long as he can. That's what you got to do as a Zerg.
Really, really nice creep spread, too, for Revival. He's playing really, really well. Yeah. But, like you said, time for making drones may be past. Now is the time to attack, take out your opponent. Oh, speaking of taking out things, that's going to need to get canceled. Yep, there it is. It's like in Diablo 2. You can press that button over and over, and the guy says, time to die.
And SC is going into the south, but Revival is gearing up for a huge counterattack.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Lots of Zerglings and Mutalisk Banelings as well. He just doesn't have anything to hold this right now because his whole army is out in the south.
Yeah.
Nice move holding his Banelings so they didn't just suicide on one Marine. Zerglings coming in. This is a complete breach. SC's bringing his whole army back to deal with this, though.
He's got to be careful about those Banelings. Targeting them down, scanning to take him out. He knew Revival was going to burrow him. Nice move by SC there, but there's so much stuff in his base right now. He's going to be able to eventually drive it off, but that's going to really, really slow him down. And I mean, it's at the point where SC is being slowed down so much that Revival is just getting kind of this unbeatable advantage. I mean, it's still anybody's game, but it's swinging towards Revival's favor right now.
Well, the only thing is that Revival isn't...
Banelings are like 3 Marines is not enough. Oh, that might be enough.
Oh, man. Oh. They will still get their chance, though, I think.
I think you're right.
Anyway, the only thing is the Revival, he lost that 6 o'clock base, and he lost his base at the top right as well, so he's actually not mining any more than Revival is. He's going to try and bait him in. Oh! Is he going to fall for it? The turret would have detected those. SC knew what was going on there.
Very nice. More turrets getting taken out.
Very smart.
Yeah.
Sensing that was why those Zerglings ran in there to kill the turret.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, well, I'm surprised they didn't really notice him there. I mean, with the turret there as well, that's a good point.
You know why I didn't notice them?
Why?
Because they were burrowed.
Oh.
Sorry. Mutalisks continuing to harass the main, by the way. Just taking out turrets and running away, keeping SC back. SC trying to take the gold base right now, though.
Yeah.
Has to wait for the creep to recede to do so.
You know, SC is actually about 30 supply ahead right now. And Terran on 3 bases is so dangerous. We've seen a lot of TVZs lately where the Zerg seems to be very far ahead, and I even mentioned that earlier, but the Terran still finds ways to win. And that's just, well, in my opinion anyway, that's just because the Zerg isn't quite using all their kind of tools yet. Like, we haven't seen Zerg players manually detonating Banelings when they're next to the Marines. They just kind of move action and hope they blow up.
And
so
more harassment going on in the main.
Yeah.
The crux of the situation is really the gold base right now, because SC, if he doesn't have that gold, he's actually going to mine out of most of his bases. Oh, is he going to get that orbital?
He almost gets it, but pulls away in time.
And he actually has to drop a mule to repair it.
Yeah.
But my point is that SC's going to mine out his second very soon. He's only going to have his 3rd base and that gold. So if Revival can do something about that gold, he's going to have a huge econ advantage with 5 bases going strong at this point, 3 of them mining.
He really needs to do something about that gold, actually. If he doesn't, then it's going to be very difficult to stop SC.
Yeah, I don't know what he's going to do about the gold, though. Planetary, Thors, tanks, Marines, turrets.
It's pretty turtled up.
Hard nut to crack.
Yeah. I would say so. Well, right now the supplies, again, pretty even. Revival, of course, does have the economy to stay maxed for a good long time now. And still with, really good creep spread. It's like constant work for SC to keep the creep down. There we go, another counterattack into the 3rd.
Oh, Marines taking some fire. The Banelings going for the SCVs.
Yeah, I think it's
and they're going to get a couple of them. Scan reveals the burrowed Banelings. Those Mutalisks are just so fast, so mobile, they can chase, but there's some Marines in the main coming down. And he avoids those as well.
Wow, a lot of SCVs dying. 36 to 77 right now. And that's going to help quite a bit. I mean, it's really good that SC has a gold base right now, because if he didn't, he would be in dire straits at the moment.
Wow.
Goodbye, Thor. Thor is not here.
Right now, I think this is the first time I've ever seen in a pro game Flyer Carapace level 2 being upgraded right now.
You don't see it very often. I know.
You don't see it very often. I mean, it's not unheard of, but
once in a while.
But I haven't seen it in a GSL game at least.
The only other Zerg I can remember getting that in the GSL has been Leenock, and that was only like twice.
Hold that thought. Tons of Banelings coming in. They blow up on some tanks. Are they going to get enough Marines? Good splitting by SE, and he actually retains the bulk of his army there. Revival still has his mutas, though, going in for a counterattack.
And he's trying to take out the turrets at the gold. Are the SCVs going to be able to repair? No, it doesn't look like. And is he just going to sit there and try to tank the Marines? Looks like he is, but he loses his third at the same time. Both these players doing pretty significant damage to each other right now, but I think Revival is going to have to pull out pretty soon because that is a huge push coming into his main right now.
He's got a lot of Banelings moving in, but he doesn't have any support for them. The tanks are going to obliterate the Banelings.
Yeah.
Very few hits on the Marines. The Thor survives as well.
Really, really good Marine control from SC. He's dwindling, though. The numbers are dwindling. Takes out the Baneling nest, though. And I think we may be reaching the end of this game pretty soon, Voltrap.
It may be indeed. Revival's desperately trying to effect a counterattack in the middle of the map, but it's not going to happen.
Goodbye, Hatchery.
SC pushing all the way into his natural expansion here.
Oh, that's a lot of Zerglings.
Even though he still has a lot of supply, a lot of it's in drones around the map, he doesn't have anything to fight this off with.
Yeah. Now SC really wants to get some tanks in there. It's a lot of Zerglings he's going to need to deal with up in the main. Oh, what is Revival doing? Oh, taking a lot of damage with the mutas.
Needs to be a little bit more careful with that.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of his mutas are on really low health right now. If he engages in battle with them one more time there, he's going to lose most of them.
Yeah, losing the Baneling nest was a big deal, too. I mean, he had it in a place that made it a little bit vulnerable.
And Baneling nest just finished, so he's actually going to be able to morph a lot of those Zerglings in the main into Banelings. He does immediately, so he may be able to save his main, theoretically. But there's a lot of tanks, so it's going to be tough.
He's going to try to get a bit of a flank going. It's going to be pretty tough to move down that ramp. With all those Banelings. Macro Hatch getting taken out, about to die. There it goes.
Yeah, that hatchery isn't quite as important right now, so very smart of Revival to just be patient. Wait until he has the opportunity to really take this out. Mutas are going to go and try and defend this. I don't even know what you call it. Third, fifth, whatever it is.
I think it was his fourth, yeah. Oh, those mutas are all getting really low on health, too. Only one muta in the green right now there. And the main base gets taken out by SC. He's going to work
now
on the spawning pool. Here we go. From both sides, Zerglings, Banelings, and mutas. Is it going to be enough? Not a lot of siege tanks there for SC, but such a long distance for those Banelings to go. The siege tanks hitting so many shots. Wow,
eventually they do get cornered, though, and the Mutalisks, unchallenged, able to take out all the tanks.
Really great control by Revival, forcing those Marines away from the tanks so the mutas could come in and clean them up. Both these guys are playing pretty well, man.
They are. Revival is just barely holding on by the skin of his teeth.
Yeah.
His Spire is actually dying in a corner right now, but he still has it. So he's making Mutas because he lost his spawning pool. No, he didn't lose his spawning pool. I'm sorry. It's burning down as well. Burning down.
Flooding down. Leaking. It's leaking out.
Leaking out.
Yep.
Bleeding out.
Bleeding out, I guess. That works. It's a medical term, I guess. I don't know.
And this is Revival's one of his last mining bases up here. So if he loses this, SC is just going to have too much of a lead. Although actually SC is mined out as well, so it could come down to the wire if he defends this.
Yeah, we'll see.
Banelings from both sides.
He does get some kills with those Banelings, but not on.
Oh, not enough. The mutas cannot challenge those Marines.
Nope, down to just 6 of those. What are the upgrades on those Marines, by the way?
I believe they're 3-3. No, they're 2-2 right now.
He's going for it. This could be it. Transfusing the mutas, trying to win. Drones coming in as well.
And I don't think it's going to be enough. He can hold this off. GG! Coming from a Revival. Barely could not hold that off.
Yeah, MVP SC taking the win in Game 1. He is our first game winner in the new season.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sony Ericsson GSL has been begun by
September it is.
a win by MVP SC.
Yep.
And just barely, man, because he was about a minute and a half, 2 minutes from being mined out in his third and the high yield.
That was a close game. That was a pretty close game.
So,
I mean, the advantage seemed to shift back and forth a little bit. Let's take a look at the graphs after this game. We never do that. We never look at the graphs.
You want to look at the graphs?
Yeah, let's take a look at the graphs. I want to look at them.
All right.
On the right side there.
Graphs.
All right. So like we're looking at the graphs right now. We can't anymore because we're getting invited to the next game. But I mean, you know how you have that graph that kind of goes up like that. It was like dead even in both for most of that game there. Those guys had very similar economies, very similar unit counts, similar worker counts. But in the end, SC was able to do some nice maneuvers there and take the game one. But I really feel like this is still anyone's series, though. I mean,
Revival didn't just get stomped or anything like that. That was a close game, and if anything had gone a little bit differently, like if he had landed a couple more Banelings on some Marines and saved his third or something like that, I think Revival would have easily been able to win that game because it really did come down to the wire.
I feel like Antigua Shipyards is a pretty difficult map for Zerg as well. Zerg versus Terran. There's a lot of positional advantages that Terran can kind of use on that map. So I don't know. It's a interesting situation. I'm still kind of waiting for my kind of complete verdict on that map, I guess. But I'm leaning towards it being kind of Terran favorite. Everyone's else going, well, Doa, but I'm waiting. I need to see more games on it yet. All right, next map is Daybreak. That'll be cool.
I'm a fan of Daybreak.
Looks like Revival's hands are like changing color. The lights. It's got like a Christmas tree hand.
Whoa. That is pretty cool. Daybreak is, like you said, going to be the next map. We're going to get started here in just a moment, actually. Revival versus SC. Revival is down a game. He needs to come back in this game and take a win. We're going to find out in just a minute if he can use Daybreak to his advantage and beat SC and take it to a third game, or will SC close out the series in a 2-0? We're going to find out in just a second here at the GSL.